I'm going to start by sharing my screen with you all. Great. And welcome, everyone. We're going to be looking at some defense problems this week. And I thought I'd start by looking at this hand here, which was actually played a few years ago, but I thought it was quite interesting. And you can see this hand was generally played in 4 hearts by West. And most Wests made the contract. In fact, a lot of people made 11 tricks there, scoring 650. Although if you look at this little grid here, it will show you that according to the computer, you can only make 3 hearts, making 9 tricks. By the way, someone was asking me about this little grid and whether it's accurate and what it means. And it is completely accurate in the sense that it shows the number of tricks that can be made by either side with best possible play and best possible defense. So it is absolutely accurate. And I thought I'd look at how this hand was played a couple of times to see how it went. So this was one time it was played. This was generally the bidding on the hands. West opens a heart, North overcalls 2 diamonds, and East bids 4 hearts. And we're going to look at this hand from the point of view of South. So your partner here, North, leads the King of Diamonds, and you need to stop to think about what that means and where your tricks in the defense are coming from. So this was one of the times the contract was defeated, because if you look at this from South's point of view, you can see that as defense, North-South, you're only ever going to make 1 diamond here. There's a singleton diamond in dummy, so you can never make more than 1 diamond. You're also going to make a spade with your ace, but apart from that, unless your partner happens to have a trump trick there, which doesn't seem very likely, your only other source of tricks is in clubs. And this is a hand, once your partner leads the king and you see that singleton in dummy, the best thing for you to do is to overtake, play the ace so that you can lead a club. And by you leading clubs, you're leading into dummy's weakness, and you're hoping to give your partner a chance to make any tricks in clubs that they have. So yes, this was a hand where it got defeated, and what South did was they switched to a club. They've got an easy switch here to the Jack of clubs, top of a sequence. Although in this hand, West actually has the ace. Your partner plays a 7, and let's just bring up the 4 hands at this point. And you can see that Declarer's won the ace of clubs. Declarer now draws trumps, so they draw trumps in 2 rounds. And then they play on the spades. But when they play a spade, you can get in with the ace of spades, and you can now shift back to a club and play your 10, and that traps Declarer's queen. And played that way, you can make 4 tricks. After this, Declarer is going to win the rest because they've got good spades, and they'll claim the rest, but they'll be held to 9 tricks. So the clue on this hand, if we bring up the 4 hands, was seeing that only 1 diamond is available to the defense, and that it's probably going to be better for you to lead a club than for your partner to lead a club. This was another time it was played, and this time when they played the King of Diamonds, South played the 9, maybe thinking they would encourage, but there's no real point continuing in diamonds because Declarer is going to be able to ruff. So this particular time, they switched to a spade, and although South was able to win and play a club, West takes the ace, draws trump like before, and then plays the spades. And now they're able to cash their spades and discard all their losing clubs. And this way, East-West made 11 tricks. Okay. So this, when you're in this situation, and you can tell that perhaps you're only going to make 1 trick, or maybe after taking one trick, you're going to make a second trick. You need to decide whether to let your partner retain the lead or whether you want to gain the lead, as in this case, so that you can lead a club. I hope you can see that if your partner leads a club, that's a very bad choice because he's leading away from his king and he's helping declare make a trick with the queen of clubs. Do interrupt me if you have any questions on that. Here's another hand that was played a while ago, and here East-West are playing transfers. West opens 1-no trump, which is a balanced hand with 12 to 14, and you as East bid 2 diamonds, which is a transfer to hearts. Your partner bids 2 hearts, and I've got the first poll of the afternoon, which is what do you think East should now rebid? So have a little think, and in a moment I'm going to launch a poll, and the question is, what do you think East should bid now? The results, still a couple of people haven't answered. Let's have a look at the results. And most of you have gone for 3 hearts or 4 hearts, with one person passing. And yeah, I kind of agree with that. You've got 11 points in high cards, and you've got a nice 6-card suit. So you want to play this in hearts, and with 11 points, it's the kind of hand you might think about inviting game by bidding 3 hearts. That would say exactly what you've got there, 6-card suit with about 11 points. So I think I might well bid 4 hearts or 3 hearts. To be honest, in real life, I think it might depend on who my partner was. So if I thought my partner was quite adventurous and likely to accept an invitation, I might bid 3 hearts. But if I thought my partner was fairly timid, I might bid 4 hearts myself. Anyway, I think it's a close call. Let's suppose you just bid 3 hearts and your partner passes, and North is on lead, and North leads the king of clubs. And I'd like to have a look at this from South's point of view. So your partner has led the king of clubs, which is again presumably top of a sequence. And you can see that the defense is only ever going to make 1 club trick here because there's a singleton in dummy. So you're going to make 1 club trick, and you have to decide here whether you want your partner to win this one with the king, or whether you want to overtake with your ace so that you can lead something else. Now, on this hand, there is no real weak suit in dummy. Dummy's got the king of spades and the king of diamonds. So this time, we actually want my partner to retain the lead rather than us winning it. And when they win this trick with the king, what suit do we want them to shift to? Well, we want them to shift to a spade because we've got the ace queen and we can see the king in dummy. So we're going to trap the king there. And we want my partner to therefore win this and shift to a spade. Now, in a situation like this, normally when your partner leads a suit, you give an indication about whether you like the suit or not. You give your attitude signal by playing a high or low one. But here there's no point saying whether we like clubs or not, because there's no point continuing with clubs, and both of us can see that singleton in dummy. So instead, the club we play now becomes a suit preference signal. And the way it works is you ignore the suit being led, clubs here, you ignore the trump suit, hearts, and the signal you give is between the other 2 suits, spades and diamonds. And because I want my partner to switch to the higher ranking suit, when they play a club, I play the 9. And my partner will know that's not an attitude signal. It can't be that I want more clubs led, and that I possibly want them to switch to the higher ranking suit, which is spades in this case. So if we bring up the 4 hands, my partner will hopefully get the message and switch to a spade. Here they've got the Jack 10, so if a low spade is played for item dummy, they can carry on with a 10. I can win that one, and we can defeat the contract by taking, well, sorry, we can take 4 tricks there to hold declarer to 9 tricks. After this, whatever we play, declarer is going to ruff, draw trumps, and claim the rest, but will be held to 9 tricks on that one. So in situations like this, you need to think about 2 things. First of all, do you want your partner to retain the lead, or do you want to overtake so that you can lead something else? And then if you want your partner to retain the lead, can you give a signal to guide them as to what to play at trick 2? Let's have a look at this one. This time I've changed the south hand slightly. The bidding is the same. Your partner leads the king of clubs, and the 6 is going to be played from dummy. And I've got the next poll of the afternoon, which is which club are you going to play from the south hand? Are you going to play the ace, the 9, or the 3? I'll give you those 3 choices. And most of you have gone for the 3 of clubs, and a few went for the 9 of clubs. No one played the ace there. And that's right. Most of you got that one right. Why? Because you want your partner to retain the lead with the king of clubs, and the suit you want them to play is a diamond. So that's the lower ranking of the 2 suits. Spades is a higher ranking, diamonds is a lower ranking. So you want them now to switch to a diamond. So let them win that. Now, they will realize that, see, once they win with the king, they realize that your 3 was not an attitude signal, because they realized that you must have held the ace and didn't play it. And you didn't play it because you want your partner to retain the lead so that they can lead the lower ranking suit, which is diamond in this case. So again, if they get the message, they will switch to a diamond. And again, you'll trap the king of diamonds, and you'll be able to make 4 tricks there, holding declarer to 9 tricks. If they don't get the message, if this is the same hand, but if you, when you play the club, if they don't get the message and perhaps switch to a spade, now declarer can easily make over tricks, because they will now just draw trump. Once the trumps are gone, they can play off the spades, and they can discard their diamonds on the spades, and they will only lose 1 diamond trick now and make 11 tricks on that one. So do watch out for the opportunity to give a suit preference signal in some situations like that. Do interrupt me if you have a question to ask. Let's have a look.
I have, Tony.
Hello, Nina.
On that book, the one previous to this one.
Yeah.
It's not about the play, more about the bidding.
Yeah.
The 3 hearts bid there, I would have read and expected that to be, if you have 14 points, go to 4 hearts to my partner, or to the east, to west.
Yeah.
Or if you have 13, then you got to decide, and that's, it's a good 13 or not.
There are 2 things that West...
Is that not correct?
Yes, there are 2 things that West should take into consideration. First of all, how many hearts do they have? Because that bidding by East shows 6 hearts and an invitational hand. So West here is a minimum in terms of points, because they've only got 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points. But they do have 3 hearts. So if they've been a minimum with 2 hearts, that would be easy to pass. So they're minimum with 3 hearts, so they might just decide to accept the invitation. Okay. So yeah, West here has 12 points, so probably they should pass. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
If West had 12 points but with 4 hearts, then I would accept the invitation, because I know we've got a 10-card trump fit. But
thank you. Yeah. Okay.
Tony, on the same one.
Yeah.
East could add shortage points because he East knows that West has got at least 2 hearts, so they've got a fit. And then just add shortage points and then just go 4 hearts.
Well, I don't normally recommend adding shortage points in the hand with a long trump suit. It's more useful to count shortage points in the hand with the shorter trump suit. The other way I would evaluate the East hand is looking at how many losers I have using the losing trick count. And here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's you expect a 1 no trump opener to have 7 or 8 losers. So again, that would suggest you just invite. But you do have very nice heart suits. So so it's fairly borderline as to whether to rebid 4 hearts or 3 hearts there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's have a look at this one. And here you're East, and the bidding has gone 1 spade. Your partner overcalled 2 hearts, went to 4 spades, and your partner leads the Queen of Hearts, and down comes dummy. And the question for you is, which heart are you going to play at trick 1? Think about what that lead of the Queen of Hearts shows, and then think about what you're going to play, the ace, the 8, or the 6. So let me launch that poll. Let's have a look at the results. And most of you have gone for the ace of hearts with 60%, and the rest have gone for a low heart. Well, let's think about it. Your partners led the Queen of Hearts, and that should be top of a sequence. They have a sequence headed by the Queen. That means that declarer has the King. So you and your partner are only ever going to make 1 heart trick, because there's a doubleton in dummy. So there's no point playing low. There's no point encouraging with the 8. You should take your ace, because you're only ever going to make 1 heart trick. And when you take your ace, you should be thinking about where else can you make tricks. So you may make a trick in trumps if your partner happens to have a high trump. But apart from that, the only other place you can make tricks is in clubs. So it's best for you to overtake here with your ace and switch to a club. And normally from Jack 8, 5, 3, you would lead a low club. But in this kind of situation where you're leading into dummy's weakness, it can work out better to lead a club higher than the highest club in dummy, because it helps to trap any honors that South has. So the best card to lead here, it turns out to be the Jack of clubs, because if declarer plays low, you can retain the lead and play another club and your partner beats the ace whenever the King is played. And played that way, you can make the first 4 tricks. After that, declarer's going to win, going to draw trumps, and will take the rest of the diamonds. So you will hold declarer to 9 tricks if you play that way. Let me just rewind it. And I hope you can see that if you don't play that way, if you, for example, play low on the first Queen of Hearts, your partner declarer will win the King, will draw trumps, and can cash 4 rounds of diamonds and discard club losers from their hand. So this is another situation where you overtake and then lead into dummy's weakness. Let's try another one. Here it's just gone 1 no trump, 2 clubs is Stayman, 2 diamonds, 3 no trump, and your partner leads the Queen of clubs, and that is obviously top of a sequence, and they've obviously got off to a great lead, but you must help them by overtaking. If I just bring up the 4 hands, you can see that your partner almost certainly has got a longer club suit than you, probably a 4 or 5 card suit. And you must overtake here, or otherwise the suit will block. If you play low, they'll carry on and you'll win 3 tricks in clubs, and then that will be it. So the right play here, which say it gets an extra trick, is to overtake with the ace or the king, play the other high club back, and then your partner will take whatever clubs they've got. On this hand, you can only ever make 4 clubs. After that, declarer will claim the rest, but they can make an over trick if you don't make your 4 clubs. So that kind of situation, do always think about the possibility of overtaking there to unblock the suit. Let's try this one. This was one I sent out by email at the weekend. And here it's got 1 no trump, 3 no trump. Your partner leads the 3 of hearts. And down comes dummy. They play the 10 from dummy. And you play the queen, which wins the trick. And the next poll question is, what are you going to play at trick 2? Are you going to switch to another suit? If so, which one? Or are you going to play a heart? If so, which one? So have a little think. And here comes the next poll. And the question is, what are you going to play at trick 2? Have a look at the results. And 56% have gone for the King of Hearts, with other 22% going for a club or the 6 of Hearts. So let's switch back to it and see what we think. Sorry, I can't find the right one. Here we are. Well, your partner has led the 3 of Hearts, which is presumably the 4th highest of their best suit. And that should also mean that they've got an honor in hearts, and that should be the Jack of Hearts. So with you only having 2 hearts left, you should be thinking about knocking out the Ace of Hearts, and later, when you win your Ace of Diamonds, you'll be able to continue hearts. So the layout could easily be something like this. And if I click on the GIB button, let me just refresh that. If I click on the GIB button, it's saying that the only way to defeat the contract is now to play the king. You may think it's a terrible waste, but if you play a low heart, yes, that forces out the ace, but now you've blocked the heart suit. And now when you get in with your Ace of Diamonds, the suit will be blocked and you'll never get to your partner's hand. So yes, the King of Hearts is the right thing to play there. Declarer can't make the contract without playing on diamonds. And when they do, you get in and you can play a heart back, and your partner will take the rest of the hearts and defeat the contract there. After that, Declarer will win the rest, I think. We've got just 2, and we'll claim the rest, making 8 tricks on that one. So that was an important one for you to unblock there. If on the same hand, if when your partner plays a heart, if Declarer plays the ace, again, you must unblock. You must play the king or the queen. The king is a normal card to play, which either means that it was a singleton or you've also got the queen. And again, when they play a diamond and you get in with your ace, you can now play the queen and over to your partner's hearts to take the remaining heart tricks. So you need to think about what your partner's got in the suit, and you need to think about unblocking in situations like this so you don't block the suit. Let's have a go at this one. And this time, South has opened 2 spades. West, your partner doubled, which was for takeout. North bid 3 spades, and you bid 4 hearts, but North now bids 4 spades. So you were perhaps thinking maybe that should get doubled. I don't know. It's hard to double that from your point of view. But anyway, they end up in 4 spades, and your partner leads the Ace of Clubs. And let's have a little look at dummy. And we can see that dummy's got quite nice spades, and your partner's led the Ace of Clubs. So let's suppose you signal discouragement there. Why? You don't really want, even though you've got the queen, you don't really want to encourage them to play clubs because they'll be roughed in dummy and it won't really help. So you give a discouraging being signaled because you've got nothing much to think about. You've got nothing much to encourage with in clubs. And your partner, presumably they've got the king, but they don't play the king. They play the jack of spades. Okay, and you might think about why they're doing that, but declarer wins that, plays another club, and can you see what declarer is planning to do here? Your partner wins with a 10 here, so presumably they had the king as well, but they can see they can win this one with a 10, and they and you're going to win this trick with the 10. But you need to think a bit carefully here about what's going on here, because declarer started with 6 spades in dummy, sorry, in their hand. There were 3 in dummy, and you started with 3. That means that your partner West started with only 1 trump. And what's happening on this hand is that West, your partner, switched to a trump to prevent declarer from roughing clubs in dummy. But you now know that your partner has got no more trump left. So what you need to do is to overtake so that you can continue to lead trumps. So if I bring up the 4 hands, you'll see this is a situation here. And by you playing another trump, you're preventing declarer from roughing clubs in dummy. Declarer can't be prevented roughing 1 club in dummy. They can rough with the queen. They would then perhaps they lead a heart. Your partner gets in. At this point, your partner leads a king, even though declarer's void in clubs, there are no trumps there, so they have to rough in their own hand or lose that trick. Here they lose the trick with a 9, and you can win the ace of hearts. Declarer roughs that one, draws the last trump, and now we'll make the rest of the tricks, but we'll be held to 9 tricks on that one. So if we look at this from declarer's point of view, you can see South has got a fairly normal 2 spade opener, but they're in danger of losing a heart and some clubs. So they plan to rough clubs in dummy. And your partner did very well. They led the ace of clubs, but upon seeing the shortness in dummy, they switched to a trump. But you should help them by roughing, by overtaking the club so that you can continue to draw trumps. And here's the last one to look at today. Here you open a weak 2 spades. South bids 3 hearts and North races to 4 hearts. And your partner leads the 7 of spades. And I've got the last poll of the afternoon, which is how many spades did your partner start off with? How many spades do you think your partner started off with? So have a count of the spades you have in your hand, those you can see in dummy. And I think there are 10 you can account for in dummy in your hand. So there are 3 missing spades. And how many spades do you think your partner started with? Here's the last poll. Okay, let's have a look at the results. And most of you have said 1, with a few honest people saying they can't tell. And let's see what we think of it. Well, the missing spades are the ace, king, and the 7, which your partner has led. Those are the 3. You can count for 10. So what you could think about is what holding your partner might have in spades. And if they had the ace, king, 7, or if they had the ace 7, or if they had the king 7, they would have led the top card of a doubleton there, if it was a7 or king 7, or the ace, if they had the ace, king 7, they would have led. So when they lead the 7, that is a singleton. It's got to be a singleton. So you play low here because you know declarer is going to play the ace or the king. And let's suppose declarer doesn't draw trumps right away, but starts by playing diamonds. It looks like they have diamonds they may want to rough in dummy. So when they play a diamond, your partner plays the jack, And you could let your partner win this one with the jack, but you have something much better to do, which is to overtake so that you can give your partner a ruff. Okay, so that's what you're going to do. You're going to play your queen there, and you're going to now lead a spade because you know your partner will be able to ruff that. They started with a singleton. Now, if your partner switches to a club, declarer can win that. They can draw trumps. They can ruff one diamond, which they're going to ruff high, and then draw the remaining trumps. But at the end, they're going to be left with some club losers. So they can play off trumps, but at some point, they're going to lose 2 club tricks. And played that way, you'll hold declarer to 9 tricks there. So that was an example of overtaking the jack of diamonds so that you can give your partner a ruff. Anyway, that was it. That was all I wanted to talk about. Did anyone have any questions? We'll stop sharing the screen there. If you need a partner today, you can just join the game and sit at a table and call me over. Or if you want to, if you see anyone on here you want to play with, you can speak up now.